reality, because the truth is their job is to make me subscribe to a false persona. As you've seen a lot of my videos, it's the same thing over and over. And me, I just reinforce reality and I put things that they hate in their faces. Because they really are trying to get you to identify with things that they clearly are altering, rewiring, and changing in different fashion. And it's part of these ways of trying to make you subscribe to personas. But they purposely act in this way because they are truly wanting you to be subscriptive of this persona that they putting effort to gaslight you to identify with. One thing they've been always trying to use their pièce de resistance is in 2014 I followed somebody who I thought was an adult. And she looked way older than her age. Matter of fact, the truth is she didn't change too much from what she looks today. I honestly, some of the pictures were like maybe from last year in comparison to when to what she looked like when I follow her, are you can't even tell when is when. You don't know when she's older or younger. And actually, it's funny. Today she's married woman. She just got married. I never even interacted with her. I just followed her thinking she was an adult. I was in my 20s. And she looked way older than me. It's one of those people like where like you couldn't believe that she's not an adult because the way she appeared. Now, listen, I know that the perps here are not that idiotic. Some of them are, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's called gaslighting. They really are trying to push you to thinking in a way that's just nonsensical. When it's clear that they have an agenda to frame you. To me, with me, they tell me they're going to have children, not even present themselves, but try to frame me. And and it's been a validation actually that, okay, well, that's why you're behaving this way. That's why you're doing what you're doing to me. And so they're supposed to gaslight me into thinking that these people are just doing some investigative work and this and that. And truth is, today, what's happening to me as a target individual is I'm being manipulated. Right? What they want me to be subscriptive of is this manipulation are not manipulation, but they have evidence that these are not manipulations. It's things that they clearly do to me. So what they do is they bring up whatever they can. A lot of it is not even, it's just what they've manipulated, falsified, created. And others are just things that they just can use in a fashion to negate the obvious manipulation. One of the things they've done is that I followed this person, like I said, who I thought was the pièce de resistance, where I thought she was an adult. She looked way older than her age. You've seen her. Ocean. There's even a video of like 4 pictures of her, and try to guess which one is when I follow her when she was not an adult. You wouldn't even be able to tell. Because she actually started looking younger as she got older. Today, she just got married. The only difference today is like she gained some weight. That's it. But these perps here are going to try to use whatever they can as if it's validation, even when it's clear that the reason why I would think that this person is an adult, when I perceive her as an adult, is because she looks like an adult, right? And now I understand that that's what this program does, is they really are wanting you to identify with this. So today what's happening with this technology is they're playing with my brain. From the babies to the older kids, they manipulate me. Matter of fact, they do even do that to younger people. And it's a constant manipulation in games. And this thing here just kind of shows what is happening here. Matter of fact, sometimes they don't even manipulate me to have experiences. Sometimes it's just purely guessing how old is this person. Who could be a young adult or like a late teen. So I not only sometimes I deal with this manipulation, but sometimes it's not even just the manipulation. It's just like, how old do you think this? I was like, what? And this purpose, they're desperate. Now with me, I put that in their faces because when reality hits, I'm gonna be within the reality of things. What you're seeing is an example of things that, for example, I followed this person. She had like this like thing on her Instagram. A guy is asking multiple girls how old they are. and they're all underage, but they do not look like it. That's basically what his video was about. He goes like, "How old are you?" The first one that you're seeing here, and they try to do it with the others, but they all look like that. She says she's 15 years old. Now, I would not guess that she's 15 years old. Like these people in the comments, I would think she's maybe, I would give her maybe 25. She looks way older than her age. It's so weird. Maybe it's because of all the makeup. But there's more girls, and this one is just the most obvious one. Because she, on top of that, she has a lot of makeup. But only 15, but looking like a 25-year-old. And that's been in my brain, they just mess with me. But that's been like a way for them to try to make me subscribe to these things that they make me have today. Because today, even if you're just a young adult, they force me to get sexual stimulation. It's messed up. Let me just say this again. It's part of this breaking down tactics. And they want me to feel like this is something I should identify with. And like, we proved it. It's like, you proved that you're just trash. Try to make me identify with these things, and you frame me with kids. And it's really nuts. They're very, very nuts. Like, it's, how can I say that? It's very nonsensical. It's very nonsensical, but it's a whole ecosystem full of people try to gaslight you. Now, I love things like that because they just kind of reinforce the reality of things. When this trash, I try to redesign reality. This man goes around asking underage how old they are, and I think he purposely asked girls who looked way older than their age, right? Teenagers. Now, I don't know if that's how it was, but this is it's kind of scary because they all look way older than just like 15. Like, this is really 14, 15. That's really young. There's not even just like teenagers, like young teenager in this case, that look like that. And I look at these clowns like, you see how stupid you have to be? Everybody here is shocked. You see the comments. Some people think they're all lying about their age. Some of them think that they're saying funny things like, oh my gosh, are they giving them their dog age? As in, you know how a dog is like 7, but that means times 7. As they try to mess with me. Others mention these people are aging like bananas, meaning that they look way older than their age. And I love when reality is that level, and you have clowns here who utilize this pièce de résistance, as I call it, of me following somebody in 2014 when I'm in my 20s thinking she's an adult. And to see things of this nature, clowns here who would sacrifice their own kids. When people are making comments of this nature, that this is insane, this is not possible. People are having like laughing emojis and calling these things like these people are just aging. Well, what is going on here? All kind of weird, funny comments here, because the truth is, this is just bizarre. Why are those kids looking so old? So they do this, and actually, there's another girl there that they try to like create stimulation because this one is like so full of makeup, but they all look like maybe I wouldn't go as far as 30 years old. They look like they're in their 20s. They look like they're 24, 20. Like they look like mid 20-year-old. And it's funny, they start stimulating me toward one of them who's like, you know, she's one of those people who do look like they're all like in their 20s. And I'm like, you do that to the children that look like children that 100% like you can tell a mile away they're kids. So those who look like their 20s, the manipulation is going to be easier. But this is what these clowns utilize to make me subscribe to this manipulation of me following somebody in 2014 thinking she was an adult. and try to create their storylines and narratives. Like, okay, you just desperately trying to make me subscribe to something that I know I will never identify with, and you know too. You humiliated by this reality. It's funny now they even play with me because I'm on dating app. If you watch my video about 33, there's somebody on this like a Hinge profile that stand out. It's called the standout Hinge side of things, where she was 33 years old, and they're trying to make me imagine, no, actually she's somebody who's not a 33-year-old, but and because this situation where these people here look like they're in their 20s when they're not. They're like, no, you see, no, this is actually a 33-year-old. That's what a 33-year-old look like. But those kids, I'm normally looking older, I should say, because they still look young, but as in way older than their age. And they're doing everything possible to gaslight me. Sorry, let me just say this better. They are gaslighting, but they're doing everything possible to convince me that this is just the evidences of this, the trash. There's a lot of altering of my mind that's happening, not only in my memories, but in my current experiences. But when they want to hold on to something that is not an alteration, like me following Oshin, they use that as the key evidence. I'm like, this is my key evidence, you dumb shit. And you see, no, if you see, Ocean didn't even put a filter. This now married woman, has literally never, like, didn't. Matter of fact, at one point, she looked like she was becoming younger as she's becoming older. But the truth is, there's an agenda here that consists of framing me too. So, for me, when I make these videos, I know these people are not that stupid. Well, I know most of them are not. But I know that they also have a goal. That they live life right now. Their job, their purpose, their task is to get me to think that this is sensical. That it becomes a point where sometimes they don't even, like, sometimes it's about guessing the right age. Like, what the hell am I supposed to be now? And they stimulate me just because, let's just say they're just young adults. Young adult meaning their early 20s. They start playing with my brain in this ways of just giving me experiences that are just not natural. And it's non-stop. And the people who tell me, who are framing me, are telling me, no, it's just we're just investigating your brain. Talking Mitchell, I love to put these things in their faces because I know reality can be this altered by these clowns. So when they see things of this nature where everybody is shocked, writing comments of all sorts, saying these people, like, this is no way, they're all lying, there's no way they just die young. Scared by the fact that these people are like, they look like they're in their 30s. What is going on here? And you have these clowns who are about to, like, sacrifice their own kids. And this is just so disgusting. Now, for me, I know I'm surrounded by actually, like, teenage kids that look like teenage kids. Most of them, at least, do. Kids that, like, look. And it's becoming now, like, even guessing if somebody is, like, because there are cases where you don't know, like, they can go either way. And those are the older teenagers. And they play with my brain and try to make me subscriptive of this. Like, I will never identify with this. I know that you guys are doing your job in regard of trying to paint me and make me subscriptive of this persona that is what you guys are creating. And the truth is, you are framing me too. Which that's all needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. If you're gonna frame me, you're clearly gonna try to paint a false narrative, and you're gonna clearly alter me accordingly. Because at the end of the day, Target Vigil, I've said it many times, I know what's happening here. I'm what you call a test subject. A TI. The government is utilizing me as a part of many others in this program where they are altering human brains and bodies using this very cutting edge advanced technology, and then applying these other tactics to support this technology. I've not been myself since August 19, 2019. And they want me to think that I'm not being altered in this disturbing fashion. But based on their evidence, some of them are alterations, some of them are, most of them are alteration,